I'm not a morning person.
Dedicated to being passionate about it.
Bodybuilders have become more lazy.
People have always thought I lift fake weights.
Iran and the United States.
You take responsibility for that.
Why do you think today you don't see mainstream brands using bodybuilders in commercials? Doesn't matter if it's a clothing company or something mainstream though, like a Coca-Cola, like a big brand, not using bodybuilders at all. You know what I mean?
That is kind of where I almost want to say that the sport has changed. I don't know. It people look at it different. You have now, if you look at it with commercials, right? Mm-hmm. Now you have everything is Instagram. Mm-hmm. So you have all these influencers. So when people, I feel like they get manipulated by how many people, it's all about how many likes, how many followers, and all these things, yeah? Yeah, but you can have all these followers, but if these followers just following you to be entertained, it doesn't mean always they're biased. You understand? I think that's where everything goes a little bit off. I mean, I tell you what, I'm not a social media guy. I post once in a while old pictures and stuff like that, or mm-hmm. I don't know, if you like a picture of my family and stuff. And you can tell. I post a picture, a good one from things, you get a lot of comments or likes, right? If I post anything of my family, you hardly get anything. So it's like, it's like, to me, it's a whole different thing. Maybe I'm so old-fashioned, but I grew up with magazines. People said, hey, come on here, let's do this. I said, wow, good, great. To me, it's nice to have something in your hand, even you get a lot of news and quick information on your phone. I mean, I go on Google and all the stuff, read news and all these things too, but, that is fine. But, I still feel like, well, it's a different world though these days, man. Some people, they get followers for posting, I don't know, whatever, and it's just different,
Sure. Well, you retired right before social media really hit, you know what I mean? Like 2006, there was no Instagram back then.
Yeah. Well, I mean, a lot of these guys do a great job. I follow Jay and stuff. He does phenomenal and stuff, He's still working his business and stuff the way, I mean, always with products and the things he's involved with, It's like, see, for me, I kind of missed that part to continuing in bodybuilding. You know what I mean? For me, it was like, I had to step kind of out of it, I guess, So, I don't know. I'm way back, actually, when I beat Ronnie, I had someone coming to me and I said, we need to do your own line. Well, I signed a contract with Reed at the time. So now you see a lot of people doing their own line. The only thing is, how profitable is it? I mean, I feel like the split of the market becomes so much, I feel like you have to put so much into it now these days, instead of when you had, like, way back then, I don't know, 10, 15 major companies. Now you have, I don't know how many, like hundreds. I mean, there's so many products. You just go in a nutrition store and say, what should I buy, Mm-hmm. And it's funny, actually. If I go in a store, I pick me the guy who knows the most about every product, and I said, what is a legit product? That's how I ask. I'm not going by name. I said, what is legit? Who puts 100% like good quality product in there? Because I can tell. Do you know how many proteins I bought from major companies? Like, I just to try, right? Mm-hmm. And it gave me gas like crazy. So somehow the digestion there, the fillers are in there, not working with my stomach. If I go and I pay more money for a good product, and I just can tell by taking it, and it absorbs, I can tell right away if it's a good product or not. I just by how my body responds to it. And I literally can. I mean, there's really a lot of people who do, I have a brand here, take this, and it's cheaper than anything else, and you take it, and then, well, 3 hours later or an hour later, you kind of feel why it's so cheap, you know what I mean? So anyway, I don't know, it feels like there's some good product, but there's a lot of cheap products out there, to get a margin, I guess.
Absolutely. Now, I saw an interview with you from a few years ago and they ask you who's the best, Ronnie Coleman or Dorian Yates, and you thought about it and you said Lee Haney is number one. So do you think Lee Haney is the greatest of all time bodybuilder?
Okay, let me look at this. What makes the greatest? For me, what makes the greatest is who did it, and I want to put it this way: who was kind of the most dominant at the end? Who is still today like running around and is a freaking role model like nobody's business and healthy, no issues, and who did it the right way? So to me, if I look at Lee Haney's last show, he was dominant. Dorian was a year later when he came back, he was bigger too. But Lee Haney, I still think when he stopped at 34, I mean, to me, that's total domination. I actually think he could have gone longer, and then, at 34. So now you look at him today. I mean, he's doing, he promotes his health business and all this stuff. I think he did it right. I can argue with it. I think he did it right. If you see him and say, holy man, he's like, look how good he still looks. I'm really impressed. And I actually, it's funny, in a lot of time, at that time, I actually didn't even look up how old he was when he last competed. I thought when he last competed, he was 40. No, he was 34. I mean, that is to me impressive. Yeah. Do you think, I'm not going and looking at who was the biggest. I'm looking at, if you look at his body, how symmetrical he was. He had that vacuum. I mean, he looked like a freaking, he still was a bodybuilder athlete. Like when you look at Arnold, right? You know what, Arnold? I think Arnold was popular because it wasn't at the point where everybody's so big, because that frightens people. Arnold looked, man, he was 245 pounds, all muscle, and people would say, damn, man, it looks good. I would like, but if you look at somebody who's 300 pounds now, I say, oh, I don't know, man, that is really weird. It's, you know what I mean? It kind of, not the, obviously in bodybuilding, it's always there, but what I'm saying is, the mass market might look differently at it, and I don't know. In my opinion, it's Haney. It's just my opinion,